So the end of last week's Parsha, Moshe Rabbeinu returns to the Rebbeinu Shalom after going to Paro for the first time and telling him to let the Jewish people out because the Rebbeinu Shalom wants to give them the Torah, v'chul v'chul, and Paro refuses, and Paro laughs him out, and Paro says they're a bunch of lazy people and they have to work harder. And so Moshe Rabbeinu goes to the Rebbeinu Shalom with a very, very strong question, which is, Mi'az basi al Paro, he'er lam hazeh. From the time that I went on your mission to begin to take them out, it's gotten even worse. So why have you not saved your people? Doesn't make sense. And so in this week's Parsha, the Rebbeinu Shalom sort of answers it, and it's hard to really figure out how this is an answer. It says in Pasuk, Vayidaber Elokim el Moshe, that Hashem says to Moshe, Ani Hashem, I am God. How is that an answer to the question? So let's understand, Moshe Rabbeinu was very, very smart. Moshe Rabbeinu knew every answer to Taisa's Kasha. You know what I'm saying? Moshe Rabbeinu understood a lot of things. Moshe Rabbeinu is Moshe Rabbeinu. And of all the things in the universe that Moshe Rabbeinu understood, there was one thing that he could not possibly fathom. And that is Galus. Why we're still in Galus. That was his question at the end of last week's Parsha. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe, in one of his sichos, explained that even if you're a Moshe Rabbeinu, even if you have all the understanding and all the wisdom and all the insight, all the prophecy in the world, you're never going to have the answer to that question of why are we still in Galus? And quite the opposite. As soon as it feels like Mashiach should come, it gets worse. And every single turn throughout Galus, the question intensifies. Why are we still in Galus? What do we still have to be doing here? This doesn't make any sense. And the Lubavitcher Rebbe said, so why is it, Taka? Why is it that there's no good answer to that question? Why doesn't Hashem allow us to have any good answer to that question? Even in Moshe Rabbeinu. All Hashem tells Moshe Rabbeinu in our Parsha as a response is, I am God. In other words, I know what I'm doing, and that's it. So why doesn't Moshe Rabbeinu, why aren't we told some of the answer? Why does Hashem keep that so close to the chest? So the Lubavitcher Rebbe, in such a profound and somewhat of a tragic truth, we said because in order for Mashiach to come, the Jewish people have to really want it, really daven and really want it. And said Lubavitcher Rebbe, if there's any part of a person's psyche, even a part of a person's own neshama, that could legitimize Galus, and could say and we can say to ourselves, in some part of who we are, we deserve to be in Galus, or there's something to be gained in Galus, some explanation of why we're here, then that's going to be a part of us that's not really davening for Mashiach. And so about Rebbe, in order for Mashiach to come, because what is going to come with Mashiach is such an unbelievable level of connection to the Rebbeinu Shalom that it demands an absolute huge level of davening. And therefore, in order to give us the environment in which we can put everything we have into that tefillah, there cannot be any part of us that settles into Galus. There can't be any part of us that feels that Galus makes sense. There has to be, every single part of the neshama has to feel and has to scream out that this is crazy, this doesn't make any sense, why we're still here. And that's exactly the point. Even the Moshe Rabbeinu inside of us, even the part of us that understands everything, that has clarity and truth and is prophetic, even that part of us doesn't have the answer to the question of Galus. And that's exactly the point. Because Hashem wants us to be able to look at this place and this environment and say, what in the world are we doing here? This doesn't make any sense. And to use that as momentum to really daven. And to not hold anything back. And only when the Jewish people, B'chlal U'Befrat, express such a tefillah in such a real, profound way, from the depths of who we are, that we deserve better than this, and we should be in a better situation than we are right now. And for whatever, and all the explanations that we could possibly come up with don't satisfy and don't really, really answer that question of why we're still in Galus. Only then will Mashiach will come, before it's predestined time. So Hashem Shal, we should be Zaycha to embrace that question. That's what we're learning in these parshas, that Moshe Rabbeinu asked the question, and Hashem says, and I want you to remain with that question, because that's what's going to get you out of Galus. Having that question, and not being satisfied with any possible answer. That's what's going to propel you to push to get out of Galus itself. So Hashem Shal, we should embrace that question, and to be able to turn to Rebbeinu Shalom with all the tefillos that are possible, miyumka deliba, and to dive into the Rebbeinu Shalom that we should be taken out of this Galus, because the Taka doesn't make sense. It's not a shidduch with who we are. We deserve Gula. We deserve big things. We deserve prophecy. We deserve the Beis HaMikdash. And Bez Hashem will get it, and Hashem should help that we should come to Shabbos, Menuchas Nefesh, Menuchas Guf, and both individually and collectively see the redemption of our people. Be Eskol Tzedek, Meher V'Meinu. Amen.
Hashem.